Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30. Time to wrap it up for today and look at this. We're up at 69.90s on the ES. What a day. Turned into be a rally, didn't it? So I mean at this morning we started off range bound, and technically we're still range bound. We're just up at that upper edge again, flirting with the highs. So that's pretty impressive. So we're up right up here against the highs. This could be the start of a move out of the middle to the upside. Could be, or it could just be the fact that they're running it right up to the upper edge. So this has been a non-stop grind after that kind of midday kind of weakness, if you wish. So overnight, range bound, in a holding day from yesterday. It traded up a little bit yesterday's trading, and today we actually got pretty good strength from the get-go. A nice little pullback right back down to a starting point almost, and then basically stall at that volume weighted mean, and then right back up again in a slow motion grind, which kind of surprising, but strong move to the upside. Can't complain. And so after they took out that level, the 69.60s, we technically started thinking about the long side of this. After that pullback we had, pretty good pullback in midday. We are down here we were down right here. Look, we had a pretty good pullback right into that midpoint, into the London close. And then after a while, after some slop in the middle, we started heading higher. And that's a nice move to the upside, and they haven't quite looked back. So we had net buying going on. That's interesting. We'll take it. It's still early in January, so I'm not going to get my hopes all too excited about it. We'll see how it kind of shakes out here throughout the month. I mean, I've seen these early trading days in January when they run it higher. Everyone is excited, buy in, when they buy stocks and all that stuff, and suddenly just hammer it like a couple of weeks into January. So I'm going to be holding out a little bit. We'll see. But right now, the market seems pretty strong, and we're just going to trade it as such. So starting off from the long side, looking to buy weakness. At this point, against the single prints, definitely against the single print C&J period. So you had these two J prints right there, looking to buy against those two at the 69.80s, looking to buy against maybe that this 70.73, that J print that they pulled back to that level and stalled. But looking to buy weakness for rotations higher and see if they can take out the highs. And we are right up against these upper areas. So the last level at 69.90, if that comes out, we're going to be in price discovery territory. Maybe even hit the 7,000 mark. That would be pretty good, right? So that's how we get started. Now going into tomorrow's trading, we do have news, a little bit more than we had today, that's for sure. So we get mortgage apps in the morning. We have the ADP report before the employment situation on Friday. Factory orders at 10, ISM services at 10, order report at 10:30. So that's what we got. So enough news to drive the market for sure. And then we'll see. So, but starting off from the long side going into the overnight, we'll see if they can take out the highs in and maybe make it go out of it. Right now, this is a retest failure setup, just so you know. We're looking at the retest of this area, the 69.90s from Christmas Day. And pretty much, if that fails, we could see a pretty good move to the downside, or at least a pullback. So we are looking at the retest failure setup, and this keep that in mind. You don't have to necessarily trade this as such right from the get-go, because it's a few days in between. So it could be like they're going to grind here for a little bit before they fail. But there is still very much a setup building right now. It could be a nice trade if it develops, but it's no rush, and it's going to be probably plenty of small trades around it. Looking at the Nasdaq going into tomorrow's trading, Nasdaq is heading back up to these highs. They're right up here against the 830s right now, and they're getting pretty close to these upper areas right now. And what I'm talking about is these areas, this big ledge right there at the 850s up to the 900s. So this area, chunky area of congestion gets taken out. We're going to be back in price discovery in no time. We're going to run through this in a heartbeat, but this is the big hurdle for the Nasdaq to get past that 850 to 900 level. So I would look for short setups against that one. Failure to take it out, that's what our bread and butter trade. Failure to take it out for rotations down. But I would be a little bit less aggressive on it if it wants to get up there. Since this is 1-1-2. If they can hold about that the 790 to 800s, it's going to be little bit cautious about getting long against these on the way up. Looking at the looking for failure in these areas, the 830s, the 890s, up to that 930s rotations down. And there's no rush to get short against these. I think you got some time when you get up there in each of these levels and grinding motion as we got. When it fails, it could fail pretty quick, but it's better to be a little bit late on that one than to step in front of a move out of the middle. Because this could be a move out of the middle to the upside. They have taken out that 790s, they're holding above it. So starting to think about the long side, still looking for short setups against that 830, the 890, and the 930s rotations down. So I mean, not going to be super aggressive on the shorts, but definitely looking for them. All right. Now I had a few trades this one. I had 4 trades on the ES, up $22 on that. The last trade was this guy you can see right there, a small little pop late on that rally from the mean. That's got the tail end of it. And on the Nasdaq, I had a few trades. It was too sloppy, too volatile, so I just got a little bit out of it, and I kind of stopped trading it. So that's the ES and Nasdaq. So 4 round turns on the ES, 3 on the Nasdaq. That's about it. I did take a trade on the bonds though. I said I would if it looked like it was stalling. So I'm looking at this area right there against the 1505s. And you see, we're talking about it right here. And then they stalled for a bit, they pulled back a little bit, came back up, stalled. Okay, I figured out, okay, so these guys are not, it could be an area of interest. They're coming up to resistance, this resistance area. So I clicked in a short order there at the 05s, got filled. And then it sat there for a few bars, and it ticked up one. And once that ticked up, that's when you had to make your choice, right? So if you're trading the bond, you had to be pretty nimble on that. So that counts a lot if it ticks up one like that. Now, as you can see, I scratched that trade. I sat in that fund for another 5 minutes, maybe even 10, before I had a shot of scratching it. And it ticked down there. It stayed there for maybe 30 seconds, and then they started trading higher. And as you can see, there's not been any opportunity to do much with this one here. Maybe a tick. This is at 04. You could have potentially had a trade here at 04s and gotten one tick out of this trade. But you had to sit here and fade heat, and from the 5s all the way up to the 7s. So like 3 ticks of heat. You have to stop right here at 8. So this is no fun to sit in when it does this. And if you were unlucky, this little tick to the upside would have happened before you had a shot of scratching it. So you had to make that choice pretty quick if you're going to scratch a trade. And so once it ticked up, then it's like, okay, fine. I'm just going to look for a scratch. And when it ticked down, I scratched it and left it at that. Because you don't want to count on luck when it comes to this, so just having the opportunity for it to grind down. Sometimes they grind down fine for you. Sometimes, more than often, you'll be sitting here squeezed out to the tick, stopped out, and you'll sit in there like, oh man. But anyway, so at this point, you just have to be, it's just a good point when you're trading the bonds. You get your setup, you trade. If it doesn't work out, or it ticks up high, then it takes it out like that, you just have to scratch it. You can always re-engage it later. It doesn't stop you. You have to pay your commission. It's like $3 or something on the bond, so it's not much. But it's better than to sit in that one and have a 4-tick loser on a bond. So anyway, so one trade there, I scratched it because it wasn't working, and you can see it hasn't been working, it hasn't failed. It's just kind of grinding higher right now. All right, so back to the ES and Nasdaq, and let's see how this closes. Are we going to get this little pop late pop up to 7,000? It almost feels like it, right? That ES is going to do that last little pop and then run it up here and hit 7,000. We'll see. Then we'll see. Tomorrow is going to start with a big sell-off. Who knows? Anyway, we'll wrap it there, guys. I'll see you back at 8:05 tomorrow morning. We'll go at this again. All right, guys, later.